In this video, I will give a few secrets that your competitors may use and you may have never heard of. These secrets will help boost the form before a big race. Now, one of the easiest things to do to boost form is give the pigeons Lasorda vaccine. Lasorda vaccine is a vaccine used for Newcastle and chickens. Well, if you put Lasorda in the water approximately 10 days before a big race, it causes an immune response. They have a reaction to the vaccine, the immune system kicks in. They actually have some immunity to Newcastle's, which is our pigeon PMV. Form will go up. You can have a big performance, something you can do once a year. At the end of the video, I'm going to put a photo of each product that I've used, and you'll be able to see it. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but you can order all these things local. Now, to apply the Lasorda vaccine, you have two options. You can take one of the vials and mix it in 3/4 of a gallon of distilled water. It has to be distilled water, not chlorinated from the tap. Shake it up, make sure your birds are hungry, feed them, put it in their water, let them drink. That inoculates them with the vaccine. The other option, which I've done, I buy a clean garden sprayer. You can buy it at Lowe's or Home Depot, but it has to be clean. Put a 1/2 gallon of distilled water, add the vial. It's just like a little dried plug, the vial of Lasorda. Shake it up and then spray mist the race team. Spray them in the eyes, spray them on the feathers. They'll shake their heads, they'll blink, but mist the birds. They'll get it through their eyes, they'll get it through their mouth. If it gets on the feathers, they'll preen. Another way to apply the vaccine, you know they got the dose when you use it that way. But again, it's a chicken Newcastle vaccine. It's a live vaccine, causes an immune response. Also, it's a short-lived immunity to PMV, the paramyxovirus. The next thing I'll talk about before a big performance, say you have a convention race coming up or a big bond, a band race, about 3 weeks before, add full spectrum lights to your loft. They sell these full spectrum lights. I'll put examples at the end of the video, and they give off all the spectrums of the sun. Add the lighting, and then 3 weeks before, start adding maybe 20 minutes of extra light per day. You want a natural sunrise, but you want to add light at the end of the day. So as each day progresses, you're adding more and more light. A week before the final race, you want to reach the longest day of the year. Whatever the length of your longest day of the year, say ours is in June 21st, whatever the daylight for that day is, you want to reach that. And then that following week, because of the long day, the form goes up, the hormones start pumping, you'll see your birds want to mate. This is very effective at the end of the season, especially in the fall when the days are getting short. So you can trick the immune system, you can trick their system into thinking summer's coming, and the hormones start to pump, the birds want to breed, form goes up, you'll see a big change in the pigeons. Now, along with the lighting, most of us, or many of us, race in a colder climate. The last, say, 7 to 10 days, add heat. Now, I like it's like a radiator type heat, an oil type heater. I don't like something blowing in the loft, something that can cause a fire. So you add a heating unit just to take the chill off the loft. So the combination of the lighting and the warmth will bring on a spring-like effect, which will bring on form, and you can have a big performance in the race. Now, I would add the heat at least a week before, which is fine. The last week before the race, you can add the heat. Another little secret that I've used with tremendous results is the Moxy Ductin. It's the Quest horse wormer. I buy the tube, and again, I'll show it at the end of the video. And I'll put a link to a video I did on how I use the Moxy Ductin. I'll put a link up here. The Moxy Ductin, if you worm the birds with the Moxy Ductin about a week before a big race, for some reason it has a positive effect. They get corkier, they blow out a little bit, the birds take on a better form. Not sure exactly why, Been doing it for years. Usually I do it before the 600-mile race, the end of old birds, or at the end of young bird season before a big race. Nearly always have a big performance after I use the Moxy Ductin. Now the tube of Moxy Ductin, it's designed for a 1,500-pound horse. I usually will make about 6.5 gallons of water from one tube. So it's hard to break it down in small quantities, but I would say if you mixed up a half a tube, and again, I'll show you how to do it, half a tube and say 3¼ gallons of water, give it to the birds for 24 hours. And 6 or 7, 8 days before the big race, you'll have a big uptick in performance. Now those are some tips that I think you can use to bring on form in the pigeons. And again, I'll describe and show the actual products that I use at the end of this video. The video in my Pigeon Classroom series. If you haven't seen the other videos, please take a look. They're in my playlist. And if you have any questions, please put a comment down below. The comments help the algorithm. And if you'd like me to do a video on one of your favorite topics, put it in the comments and I'll put something together. Like and subscribe, share the videos with your friends. Again, this is Frank McLaughlin, McLaughlin Lofts. Thank you so much. Here is the Lasorda vaccine. It's the chicken Newcastle vaccine. You can buy it from many of the pigeon supply houses. You can also order it through some of the chicken supply houses. It's very inexpensive, and it has temporary immunity for PMV and pigeons. Here is an example of the daylight full spectrum bulbs. I like 60 watt. Again, you can pick them up on Amazon or maybe on the internet, probably at a Lowe's or Home Depot also. Great for the breeders. It'll increase fertility. The birds will make better vitamin D under the full spectrum. Here is the heat I recommend. I don't like heats that blow an air around, blowing dust around, and they could be unsafe. This is a very safe type heater. It's oil filled, just throws off a nice amount of heat to take the chill off. The Moxy Ductin, this is the Quest. I buy it at Tractor Supply. You can also get it over the internet. I'll put a link below on how I use it. I also added a link in the video. Frank McLaughlin, McLaughlin Lofts.